Snoh Aalegra is a Swedish singer-songwriter of Persian lineage. In her early career, she was mentored by Prince. She released an album under the name Cherry in 2009. In 2013, she switched to using Snoh Aalegra. She had, around that sort of time, or maybe a little bit earlier, a reciprocal involvement with Common, who's an American rapper. In 2017, she released her debut album, Snoh Aalegra, and she's released two more since then at the point of time that I'm recording this. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of the album Those Feels Again by Snoh Aalegra, which was released in 2019. So this is a request review, and it was requested by a user with the name, with the handle Dan Former with an H after the D, who described it as a contemporary classic. Hi, Dan Former, if you're watching this. So most of the reviews on my channel are from a list at a website called Acclaim Music of the 3,000 greatest albums of all time, which has been created by amalgamating scores from a lot of critics' lists over the years. And my mission is to review my way through this list. It's a long list. I've been at it 3 and a bit years, and I'm still going. I'm about just over a third of the way through. However, occasionally I step off the list. One of the reasons to do that is to do request reviews. So I've done quite a few request reviews so far. It's really easy to request a review. All you need to do is to leave a comment on any of my videos. Now, YouTube have changed the way they notify creators about comments, so it's more likely than it has been in the past that I will miss comments. So I would say the thing to do, leave a comment, and if I haven't responded, because I know this, I will respond and tell you I've added it to my list. If I haven't responded, then try again in a couple of days, or give up. If you're not feeling that strongly about it, whatever. Quite a few on my list at the moment, so it does take me a while to get around to them, especially because I am very much focused on the core list. And the other thing that I always need to say is I never guarantee that I will review anything that people request. There are not many that I have decided not to review. There have always been good reasons. I cannot always tell you the reasons. Yeah, sorry about that. So let's get into this album then. So this is the second album as under the name of Snoh Aalegra. It's the sequel to the previous album, Feels. I've not heard that. This is my first encounter with listening to any of her stuff. I would describe this as being modern R&B, and I don't think that is a controversial appellation at all. So I'm going to try and describe what that means, but if you know what modern R&B is, it's kind of fairly core in that it's got a fairly light backing with programmed drums and then mostly kind of keyboard sounds in the background, sometimes with other samples. Sometimes there's bits that are quite processed. Sometimes we've got bits that kind of lo-fi recordings sounding. So there's a track Love Like That, which has got a piano that sounds like it's a fairly cheap piano in a house or something. And the recording, the production uses this as a contrast with the kind of bright, shiny drum sounds. And then there's multi-interleaved vocals, which is one of the aspects of modern R&B that I most enjoy. Which is several lines, usually done by the main singer, and with harmonies and bits that kind of just weave in and out of each other. So I have to say, modern R&B is not my kind of thing, and it has to be exceptionally good for me to love a modern R&B album. This is not that for me, but it is far from the worst, and there are several good points I would bring out here. So the drums are quite varied. They're not predominantly tinny. There are some times when they're quite high in the register. This is one of the things that sometimes just irritates me in modern R&B and hip hop. There's not loads of obvious auto tune, which again is a thing that just irritates me. Occasionally, I've heard it done, and it works, and it just depends on the situation. And I think I was put off it many years ago by the that Cher song, "Do You Believe in Life After Love," and which uses it, which is kind of the first one that hit the big time, that used it in a big way, and I instantly hated it. Um, there are bits where obviously there's been pitch shifting done to the singing. That's fine, and I think that can be acceptable. So he's actually got a really nice voice. At times, very nice indeed. Quite a bit of vocal gymnastics. Nice tone to it. It's not stupidly start stop with the ribbons a rhythm. So a lot of modern R&B pop seems to go like, you get the drums going, but they only go for about 4 bars, and then they stop, and you get a breakdown bit, and then they start again, and then they stop, and it's just up down all the time. And it does do some. I'm not opposed to some stoppages. It's just when you never manage to get kind of the feel of the rhythm going, and I find it um, disquieting, just unsettling. Maybe is the thing. Okay. Some of the songwriting is interesting. I would say quite a lot of it is fairly cliched, unfortunately, but some of it was better. Situationship was maybe the best that I noticed. I found that somewhat interesting. So overall, Dan Former, you wondered if I was going to like it or not like it. Not really either. I have to say, for this type of thing, I think a more positive reaction than I often do for modern R&B. It's still not really for me. It doesn't have any really amazing selling points. If the songwriting had been better, that might have been the thing that would have done it for me. But I'll be honest, I won't be seeking this out again. So I hope you're not too disappointed. I try never to um, there's always a temptation when on a request review for me to just be kinder than I am normally, just because I don't want to pull something apart that somebody loves, because usually that's why they've requested it. But now I'm trying to be committed just to be honest about how I feel about albums, and that's my honest opinion. However, I understand that this is a fairly could be a fairly well-known album, despite my lack of experience with it. So I'd love to know what other people think of the album. Please do let me know by leaving me a comment. But that's it from me for now.
Baby, baby, can I come around? Can I ease your mind? Yeah, yeah. Baby, baby, can you make some time? You'll be worth the while. Yeah.